Do empires still exist today? And if they do, who truly rules them? To uncover the truth, I needed to go straight to the source, the minds of history's greatest empire builders. But how? With the power of artificial intelligence, I will resurrect their minds and research every historical record, every battle cry, and every word they left behind. From Sargon of Akkad to Alexander the Great, from Julius Caesar to Genghis Khan, Napoleon, and beyond, I'm asking 10 of history's most legendary conquerors the same burning questions. Their answers might just reveal the blueprint for power that still shapes the world today. In this part 2 of the series, I explore the mind of Alexander the Great, the king of Macedon. In part 1, there was Sargon of Akkad, a king that history acknowledges to being the creator of the world's first empire over 4,000 years ago, and now 2,000 years later. From the hallowed halls of Mieza, where the wisdom of Aristotle molded the curious mind of a young prince, to the tumultuous battlefields where empires trembled at his approach, Alexander of Macedon emerged as a force of nature. Born in 356 BC, his early life was steeped in the art of philosophy and strategy, a legacy imparted by a mentor who dreamed of a world united by knowledge and ambition. Every victory was not merely a conquest of territory, but a testament to the unyielding spirit of a man who dared to challenge destiny. As we delve deeper into the psyche of this legendary warrior, we find a man who was not content with the boundaries of his time, a man whose every heartbeat was a call to arms, whose every decision was a brushstroke in the epic portrait of an empire that spanned continents and defied the ages. So my first question to Alexander is this: how did Aristotle's teachings shape your leadership and contribute to your legacy as one of history's greatest rulers?
Aristotle did not merely teach me, he forged me. He did not fill my mind with knowledge, he set it ablaze. From him, I inherited the wisdom of philosophy, the discipline of logic, and the relentless hunger to understand the world. His lessons in ethics, politics, and science were not mere words. They became the weapons with which I conquered both men and ideas. It was he who placed the Iliad in my hands, igniting within me the fire of Achilles. It was he who taught me to see beyond the edge of my sword, to rule not just with might, but with wisdom. Through his teachings, I learned that an empire is not built on conquest alone, but on the unification of minds, cultures, and ideals. Hellenization was not an accident of war. It was a vision he helped shape. Even as time pulled us apart, his influence endured. Every battlefield I walked, every city I founded, every decision I made bore the imprint of his teachings. If the world remembers me as its greatest ruler, it is because he first made me its most enlightened student.
Do you, Alexander, have any regrets for the destruction and mass killing your army was responsible for?
Regret? How can one who has stood at the edge of the known world, with the sun setting upon lands conquered by his sword, not feel the weight of what was lost in pursuit of glory? I have seen cities burn, rivers run red with the blood of warriors, and the cries of widows echo across the plains. These memories haunt me like shadows cast by the fires my ambition ignited. But I was not born to live an ordinary life. The gods themselves whispered to me that my destiny was to reshape the world, to carve my name into eternity. Was I to hesitate when faced with the choice between greatness and obscurity? No. The cost was high, yes, but what empire has ever been forged without sacrifice? What legacy has ever endured without blood to water its roots? Yet even now I feel a pang in my heart for those who perished beneath my banner. Soldiers who followed me with unwavering loyalty, innocents caught in the storm of conquest. I think of Persepolis, its splendor reduced to ashes by my command. Was it justice? Was it folly? Perhaps both. I cannot undo what has been done. Still, I ask you this. Would you remember Alexander if I had not dared to dream beyond mortal limits? If I had not united East and West, brought Greek thought to foreign lands, and built cities that stand as monuments to human ambition. Regret is a luxury for those who do not carry the burden of destiny. I chose to bear that burden, and for better or worse, I became a god among men. So yes, there are ghosts that follow me, faces I cannot forget, but they are part of the price paid for immortality. Let history judge me as it will. My only regret is that I did not have more time to finish what I began.
Did you ever fear failure or losing the loyalty of your men?
Fear? A king who fears failure has already failed. I did not march across the known world with doubt in my heart. I marched with destiny at my side. From the moment I set foot in Asia, I knew there was no turning back. To falter, even for a moment, was to invite ruin. I was not merely a commander. I was a vision made flesh. My men followed me not because they were bound by duty, but because I led them to glory. Yet loyalty is not demanded, it is earned. I did not sit upon a throne and expect my warriors to fight for me. I fought beside them, bled beside them, and stood where the battle was fiercest. They saw me ride into the storm before them, never behind. I called them my brothers, not my subjects. That is why they followed me from the burning deserts of Persia to the icy peaks of the Hindu Kush. But even the greatest army will one day grow weary. The further we marched, the more I felt the weight of their longing for home, for rest, for the lives they had left behind. Did I fear losing them? But I knew that even the most loyal hearts will break when stretched too far. Perhaps that was my one miscalculation. Not that they would ever betray me, but that I asked too much of them. In the end, even the strongest warriors must lay down their swords, even if their king refuses to.
If you lived in the year 2025, would you still have the desire to rule over the world?
Of conquest does not die with the turning of centuries. It burns eternally in those who are destined to rule. I was not born to watch the world from the shadows. I was born to shape it. The weapons may have changed. The battlefields may be digital. The wars fought with influence instead of steel. But power is still there for the taking, and the world, divided, chaotic, leaderless, still begs for a ruler with vision. If I lived in 2025, I would not march with phalanxes. I would command economies, technology, and minds. Nations are now conquered through innovation, through strategy, through dominance not of land, but of information. I would not seek mere empire, I would seek legacy. I would not simply rule the world, I would redefine it. Just as I spread Hellenistic culture through my conquests, I would shape a new era, uniting the world under a single, unstoppable vision. The names of modern leaders would fade like whispers in the wind, but Alexander's name would rise again, unchallenged, eternal.
What person or entity in this current era best resembles your mindset and drive?
By the will of Zeus and the fortune of conquest, let these names be inscribed in the annals of ambition, for they march upon the world as I once did upon Persia. Elon Musk, like a modern Achilles, he dares the impossible, forging paths where none dare tread. His vision is vast, his risks great, and his conquests reshape the very fabric of civilization as I reshaped the known world. Carl Icahn, a man of ruthless precision, seizing and sundering as a commander, would raise cities to secure dominion. He wields power as I wielded the sword, knowing that to conquer, one must strike without hesitation. The global corporations, these vast entities, stretching their dominion across borders without need of phalanx or cavalry, echo my empire, held not by arms alone, but by strategy, influence, and control of resources. Howard Schultz, Starbucks, a builder of empires, not with armies but with ambition, spreading his mark upon every land as I spread the Hellenic way. His strategy one of relentless expansion and calculated governance. T. Boone Pickens, bold, daring, unafraid to strike at giants. His campaigns in the corporate world mirror my march upon Darius himself. He does not ask permission. He takes what he will, and in doing so, reshapes the landscape of power. These men and women, though bound to a world of coin and contract rather than steel and spear, are warriors in their own right. But let them remember, empires, whether built by sword or by commerce, must ever be wary of their own decline.